Hello again. This is Dr. Arnie Shapiro with session 7 of Breathing Easy, Brief Relaxation Techniques for Busy People. And we will review last video's technique and go on to a brand new technique. These techniques do need practice. One thing I could say about it is that the practices are enjoyable. We are using relaxors to induce the relaxation response. Relaxors are soothers, so practices are enjoyable. So I would say practice each technique and then you will have a repertoire and then you can choose which ones are your favorites and use them as your go-to techniques. But it does take practice. So last week's technique was called progressive relaxation. It is a 3-minute technique that has you tense muscle groups one at a time for 4 to 5 seconds and then suddenly release. And we start at the feet and we work our way up to the head. So in review of that technique, we will start with feet on the floor, hands on the lap, back neutral, and flex the feet upward. That will put tension into the top of the feet, to the front of the ankles, and the shins, especially the sides of the shins. Those are the muscles used. During the tension, I suggest that you send some breaths to the tense areas. There's 2 stripes of tension. You're going to send some breaths to those tense areas. And then suddenly release. Let the feet flop down. So the next muscle group is the quadriceps, the tops of the thighs. And what you will do is dig the heels down and forward into the floor to make the quadriceps tense. So with that tension going, what I also suggest is sending some breaths to the tension at about 1 breath per second. So when you reach the 5th breath, that's the time to let it go. Let's say this is 4, 5, let it go. The next muscle group is the hamstrings, the back of the thighs. To tense them, we press the heels down into the floor and backward. The hamstrings are now tense. Feel the tension areas and send some breaths to them. Your eyes can be closed. And then release. The next muscle group we will tense is the entire spine. To do so, we make the top of our head go as high as we can while still sitting. So as tall as we can in the sitting position. That tenses up the entire spine. And while focusing on the tension of the entire spine, send some breaths to it. And then release. The next muscle group is the muscles that raise the shoulders. So raise the shoulders, 2/3 strength, and feel the tension areas on both sides and send some breaths to those tension areas. You're breathing into the tension, you're breathing through the tension. And then suddenly release, shoulders flop down. The next muscle group we will do is the wrists. We'll put the hands on the lap and we'll cock the wrists back. And that puts tension into the top of the wrists, the top of the back of the hands, and the top of the forearms. That's where the tension areas are. Focus on those tension areas and send them some breaths. The breath can be 1 per second, and then when you reach breath 5, you flop the hands down. Flop. Okay, the next muscle group is the muscles that would be used to make fists. So make fists now. So now the tension areas are of course all the fingers, the hands, the wrists, and both parts of the forearms, the bottom and top of the forearms. So focus on all that tension. Send it some breaths. And release. You'll notice that when you release this, blood arrives to your fingertips, and that's a normal reflex of the body to send blood to whatever has been working suddenly hard. The next muscle groups will be in the face. We have two muscle groups in the face. One of them is the muscles that make a big smile, the cheek muscles. So make a big Cheshire cat smile, grin with showing your teeth, and once you feel the tension in your cheeks, breathe some breaths to that. And release. The last muscle group will be the brow, the forehead. We will raise our eyebrows up to put tension into the forehead. Try to keep the eyes closed. And send some breaths to the forehead now. And release. So what I'd like to do after every technique is take 2 medium-sized breaths before opening the eyes. So take 2 medium-sized breaths. And then open the eyes. Okay, so we are ready to go on to the next technique. The next technique is completely different. We are going to use a technique that I would call is a deepening technique as opposed to an inducing technique. Inducing technique are ones that you use when you're tense, when you're stressed out. You need a bold technique to get out of the stress mode into the relaxation mode. A deepening technique is one where you've already done a relaxation technique and you're going to go deeper with it now. It's fine-tuning to make it deeper. So this technique is called the face relaxation. The face is special. It has facial expressions that use muscles that are different than the rest of the body. The muscles are small. The muscles are not moving bones, they're moving cartilage. So when you do innuendos with your lips or your eyes, puckering or smiling or sneering or staring or opening your eyes or having mellow eyes, you're using muscles that are subtle and small and do not move bones. I do say that the jaw muscles, the chewing muscles, do move bones and are big, strong muscles, but the face expression muscles are subtle. So they get a special technique all to themselves. We will spend 5 breaths on the eyes and then 5 breaths on the lips. So the method is this. You take an in-breath, and you focus on your lips. Then an out-breath, and you use the word soft. We're using the relaxor word soft to invite the lips to go soft. Take another in-breath, focus on the lips. Out-breath, soft. You're inviting the lips to get one step softer. In-breath, lips. Out-breath, soft, like a pillow. In-breath, lips. Out-breath, soft, like a quilt. In-breath, lips. Out-breath, soft, like silk. Now we will change our focus to our eyes and the eyelids as the main focus. So in-breath, eyes. Out breath, soft. In breath, eyes. Out breath, soft like a pillow. In breath, eyelids. Out breath, soft like a quilt. In breath, eyelids. Out breath, soft like silk. In breath, eyelids. Out breath, soft like downy feathers. Now, keeping the eyes closed, linger with the relaxation that you have just induced. And then, when you're ready, take 2 medium-sized breaths and then open the eyes. Open the eyes. I have to admit that it took me a month of practice to get this to work for me. My eyes wanted to be a little twitchy. It took quite a bit of time working with them until they gave up their tension. So don't worry if they're stubborn. They will give away their tension, and you will enjoy the softness of your eyelids. So I invite you to like these videos and subscribe to them, and I will come back with several more videos in the coming weeks, and then you'll have a very large repertoire of relaxation techniques. So until then, take care.